Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time, thank you so much for watching. This week, I've got about $75 in groceries that I'm working with. So when I take you to the store, show you what I picked up and then what I also have here. And then I've got several recipes to show you, so let's get started. Here's my list for today. First, I'm gonna start with eggs and milk, so let's get shopping. Okay, so eggs are $1.32 a dozen, so I'll get 2 of these. And they have the organic milk, the one that we like, the 2% is $3.79, but we're on a pretty strict budget today, so I think I'm gonna get the 2% of just the regular milk. It's $3.26 for the gallon. And they do still have good prices on the cage-free and the organic. Organic is only $3.55 a dozen, and the cage-free brown eggs are $2.59 a dozen right now. And I like their prices on yogurt. The organic whole milk plain or vanilla yogurt is $3.79, light plain yogurt $1.79, and the Greek yogurt is $3.49 too for the large container. And the cream cheese is only $1.45, and that's pretty much the same price all the time. They also have Neufchâtel cheese, and I see that the butter is on sale for $3.19 a pound, both salted and unsalted, and the organic is $5.69. So this is the boneless, skinless chicken leg meat, 98 cents a pound. Right now this is on the Aldi Savers. They're already almost out. Looks like a lot of people already purchased it, so they may not stock anymore. There's only 2 left here, it looks like, and that's the what the container looks like here. But they do have a fresh whole chicken for $1.29 a pound. These are my favorite pizza doughs too. They're $1.29 each, and you can freeze them and thaw them for later, so I love that. It's a good price. So I'm looking at the shredded cheese, and I like the Italian blend or taco shredded cheese for $2.89. This is 12 ounces. And I also like the Mexican shredded cheese, 12 ounces for $2.89. Those are really good. So I just want to decide what I want to get. They do have a whole pound of shredded cheese, like Monterey Jack. They also have mozzarella, $3.95. So let's see what I'm going to get here. They do also have the 16 ounce of block cheese for $3.79. And the sliced cheese is $1.89. It was $1.49 last week too. This week I'm gonna go with the Wisconsin extra sharp cheddar for $3.79. And we'll get one of these containers of feta for $1.65. There you go. Oh, they also have so many cheeses to choose from. I love this section. They have camembert, they've got brie. I mean, this is a great place to make a charcuterie board. I know I'm kind of like a little obsessed with charcuterie. I love it, but they've got a lot of different meats to choose from too. And they've got the tzatziki over here that I was telling y'all about earlier today, and some dill dip and the hummus for $2.49. They've got these quartets too that come with a bunch of different hummuses for $4.49. And I've heard really good things about the cilantro jalapeno. Oh my goodness, but they don't sell it individually. You have to get the quartet. We'll get one of these wheat round crackers. These are kind of like Ritz. They do have regular. We're gonna try wheat today for $2.49. We're gonna get some pretzel sticks today for $1.98. They have some really good bread options too. They have the 12 grain bread for $2.39, the 45 calorie multigrain for $2.19. I really like this buttermilk bread for $2.39. Go. This artisanal bread too is really good for $1.99. And they have some a lot less expensive options too, like these were just classic white bread here for $1.29, and the honey wheat for $1.75. And they do have 100% whole wheat for $2.39 also. So on the Aldi Savers, they have $1.99 for the 2-pack of beefsteak, tomatoes, $1.99 for raspberries, $1.49 for strawberries, $2.99 for a pack of corn, and I believe this is $1.98 or something like that for all these yellow onions. So we'll get some strawberries and raspberries today. We'll get some raspberries for $1.99, and we'll get 1 pound of strawberries for $1.49. And we'll get 2 cucumbers for 59 cents each. All right, 2 cucumbers for 59 cents each. And we'll get a couple of Roma tomatoes. They're 69 cents a pound.
Get a third?
Yes, let's get a third one. Go ahead. Thank
They're
you.
really healthy.
And they do have mangoes for 49 cents each at Aldi too. So they usually have a really good price on those. Their prices on spices are really great, 99 cents. And this is for a 2.5 ounce container. I am looking for dried dill. I don't see it today, so I'm gonna see if I can find some fresh dill. And their everything bagel seasoning is $1.85, and that's for 2.3 ounces, and it's really tasty. I need some more table salt, so I'll get one of these for 62 cents. This is for 26 ounces. Go. And I love that they have these 7-ounce pastas for 29 cents each. So you could get shells, or they have these little alphabets. These are really cute. And these like almost broken spaghetti, fideo, I think they're called. And they do have elbows too, but 29 cents, that's a really great deal. Here is everything that we're getting today. We're spending $23.82. So this week I'm trying something a little bit different. Farm Fresh to You sent me a box for free to try some of their organic produce. And I did try them last year and I really love them, so I'm really excited to work with them this time. And for all of my California and Nevada viewers, y'all could receive a discount. It's 20% off your first 5 boxes with code LEGGY. They use all local farmers' produce to fill these boxes, and they're organic, so I really love that, and the prices were not bad at all, so I'm excited. Let me show you what I ordered. I got some romaine. I'm going to be making a really yummy salad with that, some green beans, a yellow nectarine, some zucchini, which my zucchini plant is not producing yet, so I'm excited to finally get some zucchini in the house, an acorn squash. I'm super excited to show you how I like to prepare that. Very excited. We've got some red onions. I want to make either a salsa or maybe add this to my salad. Let's see what else. Got some cilantro, some rainbow carrots, a cantaloupe, some bananas, which I like. They're a little more green because I like them on the green side, red potatoes, sweet potatoes, an ear of corn, Valencia orange, some blueberries, and also some pita pockets, which I'm really excited to show you a recipe with this one too. And yeah, I'll have that description or that code in the description for you. So let's get cooking. This first recipe is chicken pitas, and let me tell you, it was so good. First, I started by taking my chicken breast and grating some garlic over it and covering it in a little bit of olive oil, some lemon juice, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and half a teaspoon of curry powder. And I mixed that all together. And then after I did that, I realized that I probably should have sliced the chicken first, because with pitas, you want to make sure you have really thinly sliced chicken. So I took that out and sliced it really thinly. The secret to slicing a very thin chicken is to have the meat still be partially frozen when you slice it. That way it doesn't slide as much. After I sliced it thinly, I added it back to the bowl and put that in the refrigerator so it could marinate. And in the meantime, I put together my tzatziki, which was just some cucumber that I grated, and I made sure that I took a paper towel, or you could just use a kitchen towel, and just get some of that moisture out of the cucumber. Then I added that to a little bit of yogurt with some lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, 1 clove of garlic that I grated again, and a teaspoon of dried dill, a little bit of kosher salt, and some pepper. Once I was done adding that all together, just mixed it up. Then I set that aside in the refrigerator for later. I only marinated the chicken for about 30 minutes this time, but you could make this in advance and marinate it for up to 24 hours in the refrigerator. Once you're ready to cook, just take out a sheet pan and line it with some parchment if you like, and take out all of the chicken that you've marinated and make sure it's in one even layer. Bake that until it's nice and cooked through. It won't take long at all, maybe just 10 to 15 minutes. Then put it all in your pita with your tomatoes, your cucumber, your lettuce. Oh my goodness, so delicious. Add lots of tzatziki too. This next recipe is a pretty simple roasted chicken and acorn squash. Now I will say in advance that the acorn squash did not come out the way that I wanted it to. I normally try it in a certain way. Tried something different this time. It didn't work out the way I liked it. So I'm going to put both options and you can try it whichever way you like. So first I trimmed and snapped my green beans and added some oil, salt, and pepper and added that to my sheet pan. Then I put the chicken down, added a little bit of olive oil. Then I seasoned the chicken with salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and some paprika. But you can add any seasonings that you like here, and definitely just choose the ones that you love for this. It really makes a difference in how the dish turns out. After that, I prepared my acorn squash by just cutting it in half, scooping out all of the seeds and the strings, and then sliced it into about 1-inch thick slices. Now, normally I really love doing brown sugar and butter on my acorn squash. I highly recommend cooking it that way. When I made this recipe, I tried it with a little bit of salt, pepper, and cinnamon, and it was just a little bit too savory for my taste. and I just don't like acorn squash prepared like that. So I'm being completely honest here. It did not turn out the way that I wanted. So I'm putting that recipe along with the alternative so you can decide. But acorn squash is absolutely delicious when it's prepared with some melted butter and some brown sugar. I promise you, I've made it before like that, and it sort of reminds me of sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving Day. So definitely give it a try. If you haven't tried acorn squash before, try it the sweet version first, like I did, so you can fall in love with it, and then try it savory another way some other time. So now I'm just adding it to the same baking sheet and just making sure everything is in one even layer, just getting a little strategic here. And then I just baked it at 375 for about 30 to 45 minutes until the chicken was cooked through to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you allow it to rest for 5 minutes before serving to have a really nice juicy chicken breast. Now, I wanted to show you the cantaloupe because it was absolutely incredible. This produce really surprised me, and I don't think I've ever had better produce from anywhere before. So that's just, I had to show you. This next recipe is just a simple chicken summer salad. So I just got the 1 ear of corn because I was just going to use it in a salad. I just shucked the corn and took off the bottom of it and wrapped it in some foil. You can do this any way that you like. You can do it on the grill if you prefer, but since I was already baking the chicken at 425, I thought I would go ahead and just put the corn in there. Next, I lined a baking sheet with parchment and added my chicken breasts that I had already flattened a little bit just so they were a little bit thinner, seasoned with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. Again, just season this the way that you like because it will really change the way that you enjoy the dish if you like the seasonings or not here. So these are my favorite seasonings to do on chicken, and that's why you see them so much. And I also recommend doing some barbecue sauce after the chicken comes out for this salad, but that's completely optional. We did end up doing that because the type of salad that it was, oh my gosh, it was so good that way. So next I'm cutting up my romaine. So I just cut it straight down the middle, and next you'll see the core there. You're just going to cut it out in kind of a triangle shape, and you can discard that. And then we'll just cut it in half again, and then cut it into about 1 to 2 inch pieces so they're easy to sort of take a bite of, just like this. After that, I'll wash it in a salad spinner. I washed it really, really good because this is organic produce. We want to make sure that we wash it really good. And then I spun it in the lettuce spinner and just kept it in there to store in the refrigerator because the way that the spinner is, it really gives it a nice airflow, so it's nice and crispy later when you're ready to serve the salad. Now, I really thinly sliced the cucumber. That's up to you if you like a thick cucumber or if you like to peel the cucumber first. I enjoy the skin, so that's up to you. And you could also do an English cucumber or any cucumber that you like. It's totally up to you. Next, I took the tomato, I sliced off the end, turned it up on its end so that way it's easy to slice, sliced it, and then diced it. This is some homemade ranch. I just made it with some mayo and some yogurt and some seasonings and a little bit of milk. So I will put that recipe down below if I can fit it. You can use any dressing that you like for this, and just make sure the chicken is fully cooked through, and always make sure you let it rest or it will be dry. So let it rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes before dicing it or chopping it. And next I took out my corn, which was perfectly cooked after 25 to 30 minutes, just like the chicken, because we cooked it at 425. And I'm just going to slice off the corn. I use a fork to help with stability because it's still kind of hot, so I couldn't hold it with my hands, and that way I could get all of the kernels off. Then put that all in a bowl, added all of the toppings on top and the dressing. And again, I definitely recommend adding some barbecue sauce if you like that, just as a drizzle on top. It really adds a ton of flavor, and this dish is one of my all-time favorite little summer salads. I love it. I could eat it every single day. This next recipe is going to be one of my all-time favorite dinners of all time now. It always turns out so good every time I make it. It's a sheet pan meal, and I took those red potatoes and I chopped them into 8 pieces because they were a little bit larger, but you may just need to quarter them. Minced up some garlic, and then I tossed the potatoes with the garlic, some oil, a little bit of salt, and some pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. That's the secret with the potatoes. Gave that a good toss, and then added a little bit more seasonings, tossed it again, and then set it aside. I got my baking sheet and took my chicken out of the fridge. I had been marinating this for a couple of hours. I'll put the marinade, of course, in the ingredients for you so you can see how to make that. This was supposed to be chicken breasts when I pulled it out of the freezer, but that ended up being thighs. You can use any chicken you have on hand. It'll work beautifully with all of those. Then I poured the potatoes on the same sheet tray and then put it in the oven at 425 to start baking. And meanwhile, I prepared my carrots and my green beans. I just sliced these at an angle after peeling them, put them in a bowl, then trimmed and snapped in half my green beans, added that to the same bowl, then tossed it with some oil and some salt and pepper. Super simple seasonings, but it's going to be amazing, I promise. I put that on a separate sheet tray and then added it to the oven with everything else. The reason why I do this is the vegetables shown here, just the green beans and the carrots, if they get cold, they're not very good. And we're going to have the chicken rest before plating everything. So I just recommend putting those in after the chicken's already started. That way you give the chicken enough time to cook all the way through and make sure that nothing gets cold while it's waiting. Because again, you're going to let that chicken rest for a few minutes before serving everything up. And it's all going to be beautiful on the plate. And you are going to be surprised. Even my picky eater asked for seconds with this one. I really hope you try this one and let me know what you think after you've tried it. Now the next dinner idea, it's just turned out really, really good too. This is taco stuffed zucchini. Now I've stuffed zucchini a million ways, but this has got to be my all-time favorite so far. First, I start by preparing the zucchini. I just slice off the ends and then cut it in half lengthwise and just take a spoon to take out all of the seeds and just make kind of a boat in the middle there. That's just so it's easier to stuff. Then I took a large pan and heated some oil, sauteed those onions until they were nice and soft and translucent, then added my ground beef. You can use ground turkey or any ground meat that you like, or you could even make this vegetarian, just skip the meat altogether. It's totally up to you. Then I took a paper towel to get all of the grease out. You can just strain it or do it any way that you like. Then I added a little bit of garlic, sauteed that till it was fragrant, then added some taco seasoning. I just made this taco seasoning myself, then added a little bit of salt. You could use the packet though if you like and just skip the salt. It's up to you. Then I just stirred it all together and I saved half of this for something else the next night. So when you read the ingredients for this recipe, you'll see it says half a pound of ground beef. So you can just follow that recipe or you can do what I did and do the whole thing and then just save half. Now I added the middles of the zucchini into the pan after that I chopped, then added some salsa and 2 cups of cooked rice. This rice was hot because I just made it, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of cooking through, but if it's cold, you want to heat that through and just warm it a little bit. Then to a big casserole dish, I think this is 9 by 13, I added just a couple of tablespoons of salsa to the bottom to avoid any sticking, then put my zucchini on the bottom, put a little bit of oil on top and some salt and pepper. This really makes a big difference in how everything tastes, so make sure you don't skip this step. Then I just spooned everything into the zucchini and then poured the rest on top just to make sure everything was completely covered. And then I had some cheddar and some pepper jack cheese on hand, but you can use Monterey or any kind of cheese that you like or whatever you have on hand, and then just added that to the top, just about half a cup to a cup, just depending on how much you like. Then I covered that with foil to make sure that the cheese didn't burn. Just make sure the foil is not sticking to the cheese. And then I baked that for about 25 to 30 minutes until everything was cooked through. And let me just tell you, this one turned out so delicious. I hope you try this one too. I hope you love the recipes. If you try anything, please let me know down in the comments what you thought. And if you want to try a Farm Fresh to You box, just use code LEGGY at checkout to get a discount on your first 5 boxes. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a little thumbs up and subscribe to see more. I have a lot more budget-friendly meals coming to you soon. So have a wonderful day and thank you so much for watching.